Indianapolis, chatter heated up Friday on the 49ers quarterback hunt, with no sign of cooling off until the franchise's next Joe Montana lands on their retrofitted roster. Could that quarterback be A. Kirk Cousins, via a three-team trade from Washington that the NFL Network reports could bring the Dallas Cowboys into the mix? Under that scenario, Tony Romo would go to Washington and the 49ers would deal picks to Dallas. B. DeShone Kizer, Deshaun Watson, Mitchell Trubisky, Patrick Mahomes or another draft prospect who met to the media Friday to state their case? C. An unassuming veteran who arrives once free agency opens next week? One quarterback almost surely out of contention is Colin Kaepernick. He officially filed paperwork and opted out of his contract Friday, and now the 49ers have no quarterbacks signed for next season. Cousins got Washington's franchise tag earlier this week. A high-ranking Cowboys official disputed the three-trade rumor, telling the Fort Worth Star-Telegram they haven't been contacted about it. With the number 2 overall draft pick, the 49ers indeed have options, and using it not in a trade but on a prospect is surely being considered. Kizer handled his media session Friday as deftly as his 49ers interview Tuesday. Which means, to borrow General Manager John Lynch's earlier expression, Kizer blew the doors off it. The Notre Dame quarterback balanced a show of confidence. He claims he's absolutely the draft's best QB, with a dose of humility. He blames himself for not making enough plays in his 4-8 farewell season. The 49ers are coming off their own humbling season, a 2-14 disaster that has left them with a new regime in Lynch and coach Kyle Shanahan. The media ate up Kizer's revelation he's boycotting social media, marketing opportunities and the proverbial spotlight to make sure I could perfect my craft. Kizer has perhaps perfected the art of public speaking, and Lynch candidly praised Kizer's Tuesday night interview with the 49ers, adding that Kizer's film was pretty impressive, too. His response to that interview was awesome and I'm glad he enjoyed that, Kizer said. And I look forward to throwing in front of him Saturday and try to impress there with the ball now. One soundbite that will surely be music to the ears of 49ers CEO Jed York, a Notre Dame alum, was Kizer invoking the term winning culture, something York repeatedly clamored for in January after firing Trent Baalke and Chip Kelly. The way this draft is set up, to be a top pick, it looks like you're going into a situation with a team coming off a season like I had last year, Kizer said. To learn from the 2015 season compared to 2016, it allows me to understand a winning culture. The Fighting Irish went from 10-3 in Kizer's first season as a starter to 4-8 last season, when looking over my shoulder led to fourth-quarter fiascos. When you're doing nothing but winning your whole life, being at an elite high school, Central Catholic in Toledo, Ohio, winning championships and then go into the 2015 season like I did, you really don't understand what winning culture is until you have something to compare it to, Kizer added. When it comes to winning culture, Clemson's Deshaun Watson is coming off winning the national championship. Winning solves everything, Watson said. You can't take that away from anyone. You can talk about techniques and bad decisions, but if a guy wins, you can't say anything. Watson's 17 interceptions last season became an afterthought, well, not totally, when he accounted for 4 total touchdowns and led Clemson to a 35-31 comeback win over Alabama in the national championship game. Trubisky went 8-5 last year in his first and only season as North Carolina's starter, including a Sun Bowl loss to Stanford where he threw a pick-6 but nearly rallied the Tar Heels at the end. I'm going to be excited wherever I go, said Trubisky, an Ohio native who could tempt the Cleveland Browns with either of their first-round draft picks, nose 1 and 12. At least 8 teams planned on interviewing Trubisky: the 49ers, Browns, Chiefs, Saints, Bears, Cardinals, Chargers, and Bills. That list, essentially, sums up the 49ers' competition in the QB market the next 2 months. Count Cal's Davis Webb as a possible savior for one of those QB-needy teams. Webb said he's met with a ton of teams and preferred keeping their identities private. Being the Senior Bowl MVP raised Webb's stock, and even if he's not going in the first round, he likely will go the next day in rounds 2 or 3, according to one league personnel executive. "I don't know what is being said about me," Webb said. "When people ask, I don't know because I don't concern myself with it. I just try to listen to what the GMs and the coaches are telling me to do and how to get better. I'll continue to do that." Webb's predecessor as Senior Bowl MVP was Dak Prescott, who fell to the Cowboys in the 4th round but won NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year honors. Job hopefuls are apparently willing to say anything at the Combine, and one statement stood out Friday by Toledo running back Kareem Hunt. "Honestly, the 49ers are a great team. They're going to come up," Hunt said. "They had a tough last year, but I feel I could fit them, too. I wouldn't mind." The 49ers could use the help at running back behind entrenched starter Carlos Hyde, and with 10 draft picks in hand, they're wisely looking at candidates in Indianapolis. Another confirmed interview they've had was with Florida State running back Dalvin Cook, who ran the 40-yard dash in 4.49 seconds Friday. Stanford's Christian McCaffrey, who was to also meet with the 49ers, tied for the 4th fastest time at 4.48 seconds. That effort impressed former Stanford teammate and current 49ers guard Joshua Garnett, who tweeted, "Been up since 6 a.m. watching the Combine to make sure I saw McCaffrey. Dude killed it." LSU's Leonard Fournette's time of 4.51 seconds was the fastest since at least 2003 by a running back weighing 240 pounds. The previous day, Fournette said, "A lot of people think I'm just strong. Some people say I lack speed, lack burst. Tomorrow will show it all." That may not impress the 49ers, but they at least impressed him. "It was a great experience," Hunt said of his interview. "They can relate to me and understand everything I'm going through personally, the grind and everything. It's just a huge experience."